Well, hello, hello. I'm Paula, and welcome to Off the Clock. This is the show where job titles take a break and real conversations steal the spotlight. No labels, no LinkedIn perfect answers, just honest conversations. Quick thing before we get started, if you enjoy real conversations like this one, please make sure to subscribe to my channel, Off Script with Paula. Give this video a like, share it with a friend that you think you should be watching with you. My YouTube channel is brand new, so any support is highly appreciated. And if you're joining us live, say hi in the comments. We will take in account your comments. We love interactions. Don't be shy. It's the interactions what make live shows magical, at least in my opinion. So let's get this started. Today's guest is someone who definitely doesn't play it safe. Bruce Jordan is hotel revenue expert, a content creator. He's also known as Michael Jordan of hotels. He's known for turning around failing properties and calling out the industry when things just don't make sense. So help me say hello to Bruce Jordan. Let me put him on screen now. Hi, Bruce.
Hello, hello. How's everybody doing?
Welcome to Off the Clock. Thank you so much for being here with me and for, taking the time to talk to me. It's a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
So, Bruce, let's get this started. We have a lot to cover and a short show, which I don't know, like I'm the one to blame. I'm going to produce the show. I'm the one who does it, and I don't know why I don't put it longer. But anyway, this is how it is, and I have a lot of topics that I want to cover with you, Bruce. So, starting by your content, you produce a lot of content. You post on Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, and it's a very like say like it is. You are, I think, this type of person, and it's the image that I have seeing you as an audience. And so I wonder, Bruce, were you always like this, or did the industry somehow push you to become more outspoken?
I think the industry itself, especially when you're not inside that corporate structure the way you used to be, you can kind of be a little bit more vocal. But before, it was like walking on eggshells, dealing with some of these hotel companies and the owners and their brand standards and everything else. So everybody had the same complaints, but everybody was scared to speak up. And I felt like we really just the regular people, we just didn't have a voice. Because it's really bad when you have an idea and you give that idea to somebody else to fulfill,
Mhm.
but you don't know the results because you never walked down that path, and you're not understanding why it's not working out. And I feel like a lot of that's going on in the industry right now is that they have these great ideas, but they don't know if they're actually going to work because they never walked down that path before. And then when it doesn't work, um usually people at the hotel gets blamed for it. So I remember that there was an issue with Wells Fargo when they was opening up all these fake accounts, and then they got sued and penalized and fined for because they had these crazy strict policies that was requiring people to either lose your job or open up a bunch of fake accounts that these people
Wow.
didn't sign up for. And I kind of feel like that's what's going on with the loyalty program in a lot of these hotels. So like they're about to be the next ones to get sued. They ain't
Yeah.
gonna be Wells Fargo ain't going to only one because you would go, they will come in and they'll pull in your telephone number, and I'm not gonna say which franchise, and you'll see just a list of different names and different email addresses. Like this guy got like 10 accounts.
Well, something's not quite right.
Oh
Yeah, but
yeah.
but Bruce, you're mentioning when you're talking about how people like you, like me, didn't have a voice, and it is. I think it takes courage to challenge the status quo. To challenge authorities in a way. And you worked with many of the major brands.
Mhm.
Please correct me if I'm wrong, but at Marriott, Hilton, I think and more you work. So, at what point did you decide? Okay, I'm not doing this the traditional way anymore. Like, that's it. Let's rethink, or you know, let's do it in another way.
When I got into the revenue side of things, everybody talks about revenue management. And what they really don't realize is that revenue management is like third on the list. First is asset management, then is marketing, then is revenue management. But we're so sold on one section that we really don't see the other two the way they play. And you'll have revenue managers, they won't even know what to ask. Like, there's some marketing things that every revenue manager needs to know and need to ask for, are there, just to get a more accurate forecast. Same thing with asset management. You it's not just about the expenses, it's about the sales process, it's about the marketing as a whole. So when I came here, I said this is not working. And it was really good because I was able to start off at a boutique hotel where I didn't have to answer to nobody except the owner. So yeah, I didn't have to answer anybody except the owner. I said, listen, I'm gonna do this, 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 and this. The person had no idea what I was talking about because they own gyms. This was their first hotel. And so that's when they were able to see the real results by actually solving the problem instead of just regurgitating the same thing that everybody else is saying. So that's when I knew, okay, I have something here, and I just took it to the next hotel and the next hotel and the next hotel. And at the end of the day, people lie, but results don't lie. So
Yeah.
when you see the numbers of the best hotels that I had was the hotels where I controlled the marketing and the revenue management and the asset management, because
Mm.
I can control the outcome. I can say, okay, these are my expenses here. I could cut this into this. It give me more money for marketing. That the money that will increase my revenue, and then I could go ahead and manage the flow of
Mhm.
demand with the revenue management. So that was the biggest difference for me.
Yeah, and yeah, of course, like revenue management, it became almost a buzzword. As you saying, like, it is the thing. And but you did write a book. You could call it the Hotel Revenue Bible.
Mhm.
So let's be honest with me now, Bruce. I think from what you said that I might know the answer, but anyway, I want to hear from you. What's the rule, number one rule that most hotels are breaking every single day still, with when talking about revenue management?
When it comes to revenue management, the number one rule I feel like they're breaking is protecting the corporate rate. I had one hotel, like, there's no way they were going to sell any rooms because they're trying to protect their corporate rate, and the corporate rate was for like 5 rooms. I'm like, you got 120 hotel rooms.
Yeah.
There's no way you can protect the corporate rate for 5 rooms. It just doesn't make any sense, and they all do it. And I think it's the reason why it's so easy for me to go inside a hotel and turn things around is because all the other hotels are playing by the same rules. It doesn't, it makes no sense. It's like you're watching a football game and they run the same play over and over and over again, and then the other team run this exact same play over and over and over again. And me, I have my own playbook, so it just doesn't look anything like theirs. So it's easy for me to win because I don't apply by the rules. I go by whatever works.
Mhm. And I think it's kind of easy in a way, to do what everybody's doing. It does give you a sense of almost security in a way. You know what I mean? Like, like, I'm doing what everybody, so I'm not that wrong, I'm not that crazy, I'm not that whatever. But it's exactly this that, you know brings the same result. It's a definition of craziness, isn't it, to do the same things over and over and expect different results, someone said.
That
So
is correct.
so it must be very refreshing when you come to hotels, and and again challenge what it's been done. You talk a lot about, you even here now, about old methods and the old ways of, people are stuck, I think, in hotel. I don't know, I cannot talk about other industries because my experience, it's basically mostly in hospitality and working especially with tech. It's what you hear all the time. Oh, but this is how it's been done, and it's very hard to break that. So what's one practice, Bruce, the industry is still doing that just makes you shake your head? Is there something that really puts you like mad, like,
Back
there
in
are
the
many.
80s, back in the 80s, we had, or at least people maybe in New Jersey area know about this. We had a guy, you could Google him. His name was Crazy Eddie.
Oh, I like the name already.
Crazy Eddie. He had a electronic store, right? And he sold like washing machines and TVs and electronics and appliances and stuff like that. And he would just be screaming, "We got TVs 50% off. We got this 25% off. Come now. Our prices are insane." And I feel like hotels market the same way to this day. They just do it on social media now. Like they just added social media to the channel.
Yeah.
I'm like, no one cares about the room. Like they are there for a purpose that has nothing to do with the room. They need a room, of course. But if you're shouting to the top of the mountain about your hotel and nobody knows why they need to be there. Mind you, there's like 20 other hotels there. It can't be about the hotel all the time in your marketing. It has to be about the experience, about the things to do, about what's in an area, about you have to plan out an itinerary for this guest so they could come in and do what they need to do, whatever reason they're there for, and do additional things. Your hotel is just where they're going to lay their head. Like not too many people rent a hotel room to sit in the bed and watch Netflix. Like that is not the goal when when they're coming.
Usually.
Like I just want to get away. I'm gonna go to a hotel room and watch Netflix. So like, no, they can do that at home. So
Yeah.
you really need to focus on why they're coming and build your marketing around that instead of just shouting to the world that I have a hotel room, I have the best hotel. This is where you want to stay. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. And I'm curious to know, like, when you present, you probably face hotels, not face, but work with hotels, sorry, that are doing marketing, as you're saying, like just about the room, not about the why, which
Mhm.
is, I think it's really clever, and I agree with you. So I'm curious to know, when you present this new idea of how marketing should be, uh, do you meet a lot of hesitations and no no's, or is it something that people disagree with you, or is
Oh,
it
they
the
hate
idea
it.
that it's easy to say? No, it's not easy to say. Okay.
They hate it. They're like,
Really?
that doesn't work. I'm like, well, you never tried it. How do you know it doesn't work? Like I tried this at several other hotels and I'm showing them the numbers. Like, how can you say it doesn't work and when it worked at all these other properties?
Yeah.
The digital marketing space is vast. The first thing you have to tackle is search. All right. Because when someone's searching, that means they're ready to buy. It doesn't mean they're not they're past thinking.
Yeah.
This was no accident. They're actually looking for it. So that means they're ready to buy. So that's the first thing that you have to tackle. Your contacts to tackle is search. The second thing, of course, is going to be the engagement. Some people will see a nice location. It's not necessarily a hotel, but they'll see a nice location that the hotel happens to be in. So if you frame your marketing around that concept, you're going to get more engagement. You're going to get longer video views because that person is, you know, the whole thing looks nice. The location looks nice. The things to do looks nice. The food looks nice, and the hotel room looks nice. So you're going to get, some decent engagement with that. So yeah, you're probably going to get some reservations for that. But you have to keep those two things in mind when you're trying to really build your following. A hotel needs a following because people tend to flock together and they see someone stayed here. They stay there. They're reading all the reviews. They're looking at all the posts. They're looking at all the tags. Like, okay, people really like this place. But if you're thinking, if you're seeing your hotel as a product on the shelf that people can buy out of Walmart, then you're always going to have a difficult time. And that's the problem. They People still think, especially, I'm part of an older generation, but I just have common sense. I have common sense. I'm like, I remember the Pepsi and Coca Cola battle,
Yeah.
and Coca Cola had to change things up because they're like, we're going to lose our client base if we stick to our current client base, which were, of course, was mature people. And Pepsi was the new generation, and
Yeah.
that's what I'm seeing now. And this is why boutique hotels are doing so well, is because they know that, hey, if I focus on this younger generation with upgraded tech, maybe more of an Airbnb model, because a lot of the younger kids, they're not trying to go to the front desk.
Yeah.
They just want to go straight to their room. Like
Yeah.
they don't want to talk. They want to text you. Like they don't
Yeah.
want to talk to you.
Yeah. Not even, I mean, seriously, I don't know you, but I can talk. I'm not young.
Hmm.
I'm over 40. I
Hmm.
don't call anymore. Like, if, seriously, if I'm calling, it's because I'm dying, or I don't know. Not even if I die, I'm gonna probably text you. Like, I hate, I just honestly hate
Yeah.
calling. But yeah, I think you have a point there. Like, hotels are, how can I say that in a nice way? Sometimes it feels like they don't want to adapt. Like, they are much more focused on, let's
Copying each
continue
other.
doing this. Yeah. No, I mean, they're much focused on showing that they are right in the way they're
Correct.
doing, than actually saying, okay, maybe we should consider another another way of doing things. I don't know. But you mentioned boutique hotels. Do you think it's because, like, boutique hotels? Correct me if I'm wrong, because maybe in United States it's something different. But boutique hotels are usually smaller, right? Do you think it's because of the size that it's easier to make changes, or then
No, I think the advantage that boutique hotels have is that they get to write their own story. See,
mm,
when you're dealing with a franchise, the
yeah,
franchise tell you the story.
true,
Boutique hotels get to write their own story. They get to create their own look, and they get the look unique, so that it enhances the experience for a guest that has never been to that hotel or that location, including the dining experience. So there's no list of rules and regulations. I never forget this. I was dealing with this franchise, and they were running all these specials and promos, and I'm like, this is that may work in the original market where that franchise is from, but in the market I was in at that time, like, that was our busy season, and they're giving out these crazy discounts during our busy season. I'm like, who would do this? Why would anybody? Because they don't know. They're like,
yeah,
we're going to do this as a franchise, and
yeah,
most of our franchises in this area, so we have to appeal to that location, whether it be
yeah,
Texas or California. We don't care what happens anywhere else. And this is what you sign up for when you do a franchise. There, it's a catch 22. Yeah, you have a brand name, you have brand standards, you have a great
yeah,
reservation system, but at times it's going to be a little rough because it's not what they're designing to do is not always going to be good for the market that you're in. So
yeah,
that's the downside.
yeah. You do have some restrictions, and yeah. But Bruce, not going back, but actually changing a little bit the subject. You also are travel. Like, I see you going to events all the time, so I'm guessing you travel quite a lot. So
Mhm.
you were a guest quite a lot. Be honest again. When you walk into a hotel as a guest, not working as a guest, what's the first thing you notice and you judge it? Like, what is it? Can't believe this.
The first thing I noticed, because how I work in housekeeper as part of my GM training, is the first thing I notice when I walk into the room is usually the same common things. It's going to be the vent is usually always dirty.
Oh.
Especially that vent, the fan in the bathroom, that thing is always going to be dirty. Maybe 5 times I've seen a clean one, like where it's clean. That's the first thing I'm going to notice. I'm going to notice any stains, any spots. I was in a hotel, actually at the not the hotel, the 100 conference, but a hotel near Atlanta, for the 100 conference, and it looked like the tub was dirty. And when I got a closer look, it was just that the repairs were done so bad
Oh,
that it made the tub look like it was dirty, but it was just that they couldn't match the colors. Like when you repair a tub, you have to repaint the whole tub when you're fixing
yeah.
it. So when they fixed it, they didn't repaint it. They just, they just got a
Uh,
little lazy and said, "Oh well, we'll be all right." The guests won't see
no
it.
one
That's my
noticed.
favorite.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
the guests won't
No.
see it. It was the first thing I saw.
Oh God. Yeah. But that no, that's like that's kind of room, like, when you start like this, even though it's not like a huge, could be worse. I don't know. Could have mouse in your room. I don't know.
Man,
It's not,
yeah.
the worst thing, but it still ruins you. You were right. Your expectations were like, yes, this is gonna be a fun stay.
And listen, all
Um,
the hotels have these problems. Like there's
yeah,
no hotel that's unique. Like all like you're gonna see a bug, not bugs, but a bug in like all hotels because someone leaves the door open, a fly flies in, and then it is down here from there. But our guest brings bugs, and we find the issue and we get rid of it. It's the ones that feel like the guest doesn't care. I never forget this hotel owner. I was sitting down and they were talking about marketing and this and that, and there was a couple of roaches just ran across the keyboard. I'm like, okay, that's different. But it was okay from her because those were her standard. That was her standard of living. But she was passing her standard of living on to the guests, and that's not their standard of living. So
yeah,
it's really tough when they don't understand that they're not really hotel owners. I've never met a hotel owner. I have met many hotel investors. I never met a hotel owner. A hotel owner is someone that doesn't need a guest. They don't need a review. I only heard about one or two hotel owners. They seen a hotel, they like the hotel, they bought the hotel for the employees. The hotel is not on booking.com, it's not Expedia, it's not Airbnb. Like you can't book it unless you're an employee. Like that's a hotel owner.
yeah,
That hotel isn't for the public. He doesn't need the public. The
yeah.
hotel is going to be there no matter what. It's a benefit for its employees. So
Yeah, and sorry, going back to what you're saying, like you don't like hotels that think the guests won't care, won't notice. And it reminds me an episode I did with Russell for hotels,
mhm.
and he was saying, like you're saying, like problems will happen. Of course, it will happen to everybody at some point, and it's how you handle too. It's it's also a big thing because you can reverse the situation depending on, of course, depending on the problem, I guess, because I have some problems I
Mhm.
don't think I would anyway. But most of the times you can revert the situation how you handle, and I think that's also something that, going to what you say, sometimes feels like the hotel doesn't care. Like really, like you're saying, and it's like, oh, it is what it is.
Yeah. The good news is that it's not all the time. It's just sometimes it's the morale comes from the top.
Mm,
And it's crazy. I tend to I prefer to work with hotel owners that believe in their hotel. And the way you could tell if the owner believes in their hotel is you will find, let's say I just find $100,000, and the hotel owner that believes in their hotel will take that $100,000 and say, okay, now we can do this, we could do this, we can do this to improve the hotel and to bring it, because if we improve the hotel, we're going to make more money, we're going to get more business. The hotel owner that doesn't believe in themselves is going to say, man, I get to pocket $100,000. Like that's the difference.
yeah, yeah. That's that. Yeah. again, it is all about. I think you said something also that I want to highlight too. It's also how the how you say that in English. Sorry, from now I lost the word, but upper management.
The upper management, the stop at the top, it stops at the head, starts at
Yeah,
the head. Yeah.
how they how what is the attitude, the culture,
Hmm.
how they deal with it, and you cannot expect something different from the team when you have this type of mentality and all that. So it is hard. It is hard to. I can imagine you coming to
Listen,
you know.
there's been times where I said, listen, I'm not the person for you. Like, I'm
Oh,
like, my time is more important than your money. Uh, uh, you
oh, I like
know,
that.
yeah, that's the biggest thing. My time is more important than your money. Like, money comes and goes. I can never get my time back, and you're just gonna waste your money because you're not gonna listen anyway. So you just really need to hire someone. You don't need to hire me. You need to hire maybe like a front desk agent
Hmm.
and tell them what to do and make them management. They'll listen to everything you say, and call me when your hotel is in foreclosure. Then I can
Yeah,
the bank call me when your hotel is in foreclosure, and I can bring the hotel out of foreclosure, and then we could go ahead and get this ball rolling again where it needs to be. But
yeah,
they just, well, the ones that don't want to listen, um sometimes it's really not their fault. Is Sometimes it's their staff fault, because their staff, they're thinking like, hey, if I just agree with everything they say, I get to keep my job
yeah.
and they won't fire me. And then I realized like they're gonna get fired anyway, because you
They're
let
gonna
this guy
broke.
keep, yeah, you let this guy keep believing this stuff.
Yeah.
You see the numbers getting worse and worse and worse, and you still just agreeing with everything that person says. Like, come on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, but it's a tough situation when you're an employee. You get you're on a hot spot. Bruce, I'm sorry, we are kind of heading to the end, and I still have a couple of things that I really want to touch, at least s- discuss very fast with you.
Mhm,
And switching gears a little bit, one is the content, because you are strong. You have a strong name also in the content creation for hospitality. So you build a strong following with your YouTube that we were actually chatting about backstage. So YouTube channel Hotel Guest Management.
mhm,
You have the podcast Hotel Management Do and Don'ts, the True Hotel Leaders too. Always correct me if I'm wrong.
mhm.
But when did you realize that people weren't just watching your content, but they were actually listening? Do you remember when it like this click for you, or you just kept posting and creating content, hoping for the best? Let's say, but did, did it have a moment that you said, "Oh, this is
Yeah,
working"?
I was at my first AHOA conference. And at the property level, like, we don't go to a lot of conferences, like, unless it's uh unless it's to improve our skills, whatever the case may be. But I was at my first AHOA conference, and I was seeing people were coming by, hey man, I love your content, your stuff is great. I'm like, you watch my content? And that's what I
Celebrity
knew.
moment.
Yeah. Like, that's what I knew. I'm like, okay, I people really are starting to enjoy the content that I produce. So yeah.
And you do you how frequently it is every day, or how do you manage? I guess my main question would be for people. A lot of people in hospitality are creating content as
Mhm.
well. Either they work in hotels or as consultants or whatever, hotel tech. How do you balance the content creations uh, with your business? Like, I know it's part of your business, of course, but how do you manage? Because a lot of people that I talk with, they struggle, with the frequency and
Yeah.
having to post, and it's like it becomes a must, and it becomes something that is not fun anymore, and then people just stop it basically.
Correct. I've had hit burnout a couple of times where I had to take a couple months off.
No,
At least
fair.
maybe once a year. But one thing that really works for me, that keeps me going, is that I have to, because of who I am and what I believe. I believe in revenue management. I believe in marketing. I believe in asset management. I have to be the change that I want to see. So if I am not marketing, how can I tell somebody else to market?
Mhm.
If
Yeah,
if I don't have any followers, how can I tell somebody else, hey, this is what you need to do to get followers?
true.
So
True.
that's number one. And two, I try to get it done in a day. So I would set one day to the side,
Mhm.
and for my stuff, I would just knock out like maybe 10 videos in a day. I used to edit all my own videos. Now I have a video editor that does everything for me. And a social media manager that manages the post, but I used to do everything myself
Yeah,
until I just couldn't anymore.
yeah.
So that was the main thing, was getting it done so I could get it out there. And my videos, people rely on my videos. Like they're looking for what's new, what's hot, what's the next thing to do that nobody else is talking about. I think that's why my voice carries forward so loud, because nobody else is talking about like these ideas or these things, because I'm not part of the same pool. Like I'm not just regurgitating the same thing everybody else is saying. So
No, and you're very authentic. You're not just saying, I know you could be, I don't know, against what everybody says just to, get a viral moment or whatever. But you're authentic. You believe, in what you preach, and I think that's clear. And I think at least it's one of the reasons that I follow your content and kind of believe in you. You know what I mean? Like it's not just for show. It's not for
thank you. Thank you.
yeah. But talking about show, and this show it's almost over, but we do have a segment here, Bruce, that it's called Would You Rather. So this is the moment that no hospitality leader escapes. So let me just put my very short video, very, very short. Here. All right. So basically, I'm going to give you two situations. You're gonna choose one. You don't need to justify if you don't want to. Like you definitely cannot overthink. This should be fast. Okay. Are you ready? Let's do
I'm
this.
ready.
Let's do this. So, would you rather, Bruce, have a 5-star review that's completely fake, or a brutal 1-star review that is 100% true?
I'd rather have the one-star review that's 100% true, because that lets me know that someone said something that no one else said. Like there's probably other people that had an issue with that particular issue at the hotel, and they didn't say anything, but that one person said something. So now I get to correct that issue and reply to the issue. These are the steps that we took to correct the issue.
Nice. Next question. Would you rather work the front desk during a system crash or handle a lobby full of angry guests after overbooking?
Me
So,
personally, I would rather work the front desk after a system crash, because most front desk agents don't even know what downtime reports are anymore. So at least I know I'm going to print them, and I know what room they're supposed to go to.
well, that's fair enough. That's a good answer. You have to, yeah. Next one. Would you rather lose revenue but have perfect guest reviews, or make record revenue with average reviews?
I would rather make record revenue with average reviews, and this is why. Reviews can be approved over time. These bills ain't going nowhere.
Money talks. That's that again, very fair. Next one. Would you rather walk into a hotel with terrible culture or with terrible numbers?
I'd rather walk into a hotel with terrible numbers, because I can
Okay.
always turn around. It's easier for me to turn around terrible numbers than it is for me to turn around terrible culture.
Yeah, terrible culture. I'm all about culture. I think
Yeah.
that's just horrible. Yeah, but that was it for the would you rather. But before we we wrap up, Bruce, I do have just one question. Is the question that gives this show its name. When you're off the clock, no hotels, no strategy, no fixing meetings, no meetings, nothing. What does Bruce Jordan actually like to do?
Sleep.
So you would go, wait. So you would go to the hotel and watch Netflix and just relax. Come on.
Yes, because I have a long laundry list of things to do. So I'm the person that doesn't want to do anything. My wife is the adventurous one. She wants to do everything. Let's just say my honeymoon was not romantic. We were so tired. Once we got back to the hotel, we just wanted to go to sleep.
I cannot judge you. I do like to sleep when I can. I am also that type of person. But Bruce, thank you so much for being here. That's a wrap for today. I really appreciate you taking the time and to be on the show. Thank you so much.
Anytime, anytime. And thank you for having me.
And thank you all for watching the show and supporting the show. I really, really appreciate it. If you enjoy it, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share all this stuff. Social media requests and requires us to ask for you so this video can reach more people. It really helps me keep these conversations going. So that's it for today, everybody. This was Off the Clock, where job titles take a break and real conversations steal the spotlight. See you next time.
All
Bye
right.
bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.